episode 4. It's pretty good. I'm pretty proud of us. We're 4 episodes in. It's been challenging to get here on Sunday nights, but I really look forward to it every week, and I hope you do too. So I'm Nikki. I sisters with Carly. I'm the older one, and this is Carly.
Can't wait to share our funny stories with you tonight. Should be fun. Should be a good one. I'm a little nervous.
That's because we're sharing your stories tonight.
Ooh, people are going to learn a little bit about me. But listen, I promise. I'm a good person. I love animals.
So Carly, tell me
So,
about your week this week. What'd you all do? Because it was Halloween, and so you have
yeah,
littles still at home, and we don't.
we do. Well, they're little, but they're not so little. Like they're not really into the whole pumpkin carving anymore. So I was trying to make it a little interesting, and I was like, okay, well, let's go out back and we'll shoot our pumpkins and make faces out of shooting them. So
Oh, is
it
that what you
was
guys were doing? You were making faces with them?
yes. So we had a competition to see who could shoot the best face. So
Who won?
I'm pretty sure I won. I'm pretty sure. I should have posted a picture, but yes. Well, one of my bullets went through the side, so it made like a perfect mouth. So I turned it and then did the eyeballs and the nose. It's
That's so
really
fun.
hard.
That's really
Yeah,
fun.
it was
So,
so fun. The boys really enjoyed it, so it was
so Carly
good.
has 5 acres, and whenever you go to Carly's house, it's like summer camp. You're doing all kinds of stuff. You're swimming. You're riding 4 wheelers. They have like a whole paintball section set up in the back of their property, so you paintball. Uh, I mean, what else, Carly? Dirt bikes.
Dirt bikes, yeah, we got
We throw
some dirt
axes,
mounds. Yep, knife
fire
throwing
pit.
knives, skeet shoot.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's
yeah,
all of
it's
it.
camp earn wines.
Yeah, and we're exhausted because then we play games and we stay up late. Oh, ping pong, pool table, then we make up random games, hide and go seek in the dark. I mean, we're exhausted when we come home from Carly's house. We have Nerf wars. I mean, hundreds of Nerf
Full on
bullets,
Nerf wars with the whole
full on
family.
Nerf wars. So, so yeah, so Carly's been. I'm gonna brag on my sister for a minute. So Carly's dream has always been to own a therapy farm, and it kind of started when she was 14, I guess. Her okay. So let me just be very clear. Growing up, I had a dog when I was younger, but I didn't have what Carly had. So I'm not bitter, but it's fine. But but Carly got a horse at 14. You saved your money, right? Did you save your money for it?
Yeah, I did. I saved my money. I bought my horse with my own money. It was a big ordeal. But my sister, she's, you didn't have a barn built and moved
No,
to 2.5 acres to get a
no.
horse?
Yeah,
Why? Why
yeah,
wouldn't
no.
you be
Oh, and they
bitter?
didn't get all that until I left. So I moved out, and then they got this beautiful house, barn and all this stuff. So you have to know my mom, which you're actually going to get to meet mom next week. She's going to come on our show, which we're really excited about. So my mom is just really sweet, but she's never had a horse either. So she takes Carly to go buy this horse, and you never buy a young male horse for a new rider. That's just you almost buy like an almost dead horse, right? So that they're just docile. So they go look at this young horse. How old was Flash when you went and looked at him?
Two. And,
Yeah.
and he was emaciated, so he was sick. So we were like, we have to get this horse.
Well,
Like,
yeah. So
look at him,
mom,
he's sick, his ribs are showing, we gotta get him.
yeah. So
So of
mom
course.
calls and I'm like, and I'm the negotiator. Like I'm the one who'll talk you down. At the garage sale, I will I will be really rude in your own driveway. But so mom goes to get this horse with Carly, and she calls, and I'm like, "Did you looked at a young male horse?" And she was like, "Yeah, yeah." And I said, "Well, what was going on?" And she said, "Oh, well, he was sick." I'm like, "Mom, please tell me you didn't buy a sick horse." She said, "We had to. He was sick. He needed us." I'm like, "Mom, please tell me you didn't pay full price for a sick young horse." She said, "Of course we did. We had to take him home. We couldn't take the chance." So, so here they have this young, sick male horse. Carly's 14. She's never had a horse before. They've never done this before. This is the first time. And that horse, I mean, I think he related y'all with feeling good because you got him to feel good. And he was so I guess, in debt to you for saving him.
Oh, he was such a good boy, though. He took a lot of training. It did. It took a lot of training. I did a lot of work with him, but he was a very good boy, and he ended up when I went to college, he ended up going to a therapy farm. I had sold him to this woman, and I kept up with him and rode him, and she couldn't keep him any longer, and I couldn't buy him back because I'm in college. Like I have no money. I can't afford a horse. Like I'm living in an apartment. So she sends him to a therapy farm. Well, I went to go visit him on the therapy farm, and that's where I fell in love with therapy riding. So that ever since then, I fell in love, and then my husband and I, we would volunteer for, with this Brooks Rehab basically, and they would go out and have all of their clients, and it would be kids and adults and everything, and we just fell in love. Like it's the best thing if you can ever do it. Go volunteer for a therapy farm. It is the most.
It's amazing. I volunteered for a short time, right before I got into real estate, and man, I'll tell you what. You see a kid who has no control over their body. They're completely helpless in the fact of control of their body, and they get on that horse, and I have like the goosebumps because they just have this control, and they just change. Their whole bodies change, and the horses are amazing. I mean, the horses just know. They just know. It's a really, really cool thing. So
Yeah, we had
in the process of getting their farm started. You got your fences up, right?
Yep, got our fences up. So now the pole barn is next, and then getting all the supplies and everything that you need to own a horse, and then we'll look for horses. But yeah,
well,
so we're doing a therapy
fast
farm.
Forward a couple years, and they end up having our nephew who has Down syndrome. So it was kind of like God had orchestrated all along. It was pretty cool.
Oh, for sure. I have no doubt what my purpose is. No doubt. It's just, just getting there and having the patience and, and God's timing.
And waiting, yeah.
Yeah.
So I keep threatening I'm going to send a camel to her farm or, send stuff to her. So.
Yeah, she sends me all these pictures. These camels for sale, zebras, like all these animals. I'm like, sister, what? To do with a camel?
If you're ever bored, go read the free donkey ads. They are really, really fun. It's like they're basically like, this thing is an asshole and we cannot. One of them said bring 7 guys to put him in the trailer.
I believe it.
Yeah, thank you, no thank you. So anyway, so anything else interesting this weekend? So the boys, they shot pumpkins, or you just so you didn't go trick or treating, but you did all like the trunk or treat stuff and everything ahead of time.
We did the fall festival, which it was so cute. Dane, they have like the dunk tank with the guy, and Dane hit the circle thing all 3 times. The second one he hit it dead center, but it wasn't enough to send the guy in the water. But the third one he nailed it, and then everybody erupts.
I mean, he nailed it. He had a mission. Well, his little face was like, he was like, excuse me, I'm working here.
Yeah, and he was like, with his ball, he's like, pat, pat. Nailed him, and he's like, and the funny thing is, I told my friend, I'm like, this kid has been able to hit me dead center in the forehead with a Nerf gun since he was 2. Like, people would come over and he'd come out with a Nerf gun and be like, yo, no joke, like, pay attention to him. He's gonna hit you right in the forehead. Like, he always has had a good aim.
You cannot underestimate him.
No,
you cannot underestimate him.
He might have Down syndrome, but there's nothing down about him. He is amazing in every way, honestly.
He's the dog whisperer. Like he is so funny because
he's the animal whisperer.
Animal whisperer, like with your chickens.
Yes, the chickens and at school, like they have rabbits and stuff, and there's like a whole circle of kids, and both rabbits are sitting right in front of Dane.
And he's like, and they like come and sit, and I'm like, what? My dog has never done a command in her life, and Dane's got her trained. He's here 2 days. Yeah. I'm like, can we do some training with him? So,
yeah.
But okay.
Well, what about you? What about your week? What happened for you?
So I got my hair did this week. It's been a long time since I've got my hair done.
I love it.
Yeah,
by the way,
my best girlfriend does my hair, but she's in Fort Worth, and she really doesn't do hair. She just does it for me because when I started real estate, we did this really intense training program, and I was so stressed out. I cut my own bangs. I haven't cut my bangs since I was like 12, and they were jacked. I mean, they were so jacked. Like they were like up here and down, and she was sitting across from me, and I said, I cut my bangs, and she goes, I know, and she said, you're lucky I carry my shears. So she fixed my hair in the parking garage. I love it. So she's been doing my hair, but I just couldn't.
Parking garage.
Yeah, in the parking garage, she was cutting my hair.
Yeah, light bulb.
Yeah, so she's been doing my hair for a couple of years, but I went to someone local and I love her. She's really cool. And anyway, I I haven't had my hair done because I had surgery, so I've been pretty much in and out of surgery all year. So it was so nice to have my hair colored, and she took out a whole bunch of bulk. So now my ponytail's like this big, and it doesn't look like a horse tail like somebody else's. I know it was this way. but yeah, so okay, so the thing about my
So wait,
hair,
what do you tell her? What did you tell her?
well, I told her that I wanted something different because my hair is so heavy and it was so long and so heavy. And it's really pretty and it's shiny and healthy and all this stuff, but it just was like I can't do anything with it. It just lays flat. And I was like, I don't want anything boring. I like don't like have my hair the same all the time.
And I'm on the phone with her. She's telling me this, and I said, "Thank you."
Yeah, guess who has her hair the same her whole life? Well, not when you were little. I guess when you were little,
I
you didn't.
cut it. I have cut it. Remember, I cut my hair off to here. You were
To
witness
there?
to it. I did
Really
it on the
to
phone.
there?
Yes.
Let's go down a little bit longer.
It was at my
A
shoulders.
little bit? No.
And then I've had it cut in short layers. I just haven't done like the bob cut and everything.
They make fun of me because I've had.
You've
all
had
the
a
hair.
million haircuts. I seriously want to do a whole show on all of your haircuts and just show all the different pictures.
I did.
You're definitely not boring.
No, I'm definitely not boring. I've been blonde. I've been dark, short, long, all of it. Bangs, no bangs. So, but yeah, it was super fun. So, okay, so this is what I did this week, and I feel terrible about it because, okay, so we get really big storms in Texas, and I'm talking 60-mile-an-hour winds and big hail, and it's so loud when the hail hits the windows and the roof and stuff. And so they were calling for big storms. Well, our dog, Olivia, she's a little Shih Tzu, her crate faces the window for the backyard. And she freaks out whenever she hears thunder and lightning. Like she just won't sleep. She cries. So we put her in her crate because that's like her safe place. And that day we were like, okay, Nate helped me clean the garage out so we could get the cars in. And we like, okay, let's make sure we shut all the blinds so that they don't freak her out so she can't see the lightning, and just get everything prepared. Because the storm wasn't going to hit till 2 a.m. So we had everything prepared with the exception that we left her outside.
Nicole. O.M.
We left her outside in the storm.
Poor Olivia.
I feel terrible.
What happened?
Terrible.
Like through the whole night?
Yeah, the whole night. She stayed outside.
She's like, there's lizards and bobcats and storms.
Yeah. Like they were calling for tornadoes and hail and like I mean, we cleaned the garage out to put the cars in, and then we left her out in the storm. It was awful. I felt terrible.
Would you die if you turned the light on and saw her outside trying to catch the hail?
She was so mad at us. She was so mad.
Oh my gosh. So what happened with the storm? Was it really bad?
I don't know. I took a lot of allergy medicine and went to bed.
So you were on Benadryl. So you have no clue.
Yeah. So remember I told you like my eye was swollen?
Yeah.
Well, I've been having this reaction for whatever, a week or whatever. And so they gave me this allergy medicine that's stronger than Benadryl. I'm supposed to take it 3 times a day. I'm like, how am I supposed to function if I'm taking this 3 times a day? So I take it at night. And I was asleep. I don't know if the storm. I don't even know if it rained.
Oh my gosh.
So she's like,
poor Olivia.
But yeah, so that's what I did with Olivia. I felt so bad. But like, okay, so we were talking about Dane being the dog whisperer. Carly's dogs and my dog are so different. Like, so you have what, they're Chihuahua mixes?
Yeah, they're supposed to be Shih Tzu Chihuahuas.
Yeah, they're not. But
They're
my dog's a
not.
Shih Tzu. So her dogs will follow Dane around and protect him and like alert her. So there was a snake in the backyard and one was alerting her and the other one came to get her. I mean, like, they're just great dogs. They're like, they could be therapy dogs. They're just amazing. My dog misses the couch when she goes to jump. Like, she's not the brightest. She's super cute, but she's just not the brightest. So one time I'm throwing Carly under the bus. So Carly is like the best, most docile dog. She sends me pictures all the time when she has to groom them. My dog acts like she has rabies when she's gonna get groomed, so she always sends me pictures. I have to take her to the groomer. And now I've started giving her those little weed things before she goes. The little dog weed. So she's just sweet chill. They're like, she was so much better this time. I'm like, oh, it's weird. I don't know.
So weird.
It's so weird.
You're like giving your reviews. Like, works.
It works. Yeah, it definitely works. She only takes like half, and she's totally chill. But we started those when we came to your house on the airplane. We got them because they told him that like they would help her relax on the airplane. No, it did not. She escaped from the thing. The guy next to me had to catch her. Like, it was awful. But we've been messing with the dose a little.
She's so cute, but she's so different from my dogs. Like, she literally acts like she has rabies for everything.
Yeah, like every time you go to put her in the water, she goes. I'm like, you're not even touching the water. She acts like I'm drowning her. And but when it rains, like, she'll go out and put her whole face in a puddle and come back like with her face just black with mud. I'm like, no, sister, you can't. So this is what Carly does. So when Carly has friends come over, she puts everything in her bedroom. Everything, dishes, laundry, everything.
No, I don't. I do not put dishes in my room. No,
yes, you do.
My room is where I fold my laundry. I throw all my laundry on my bed.
Really? Fold your laundry?
No, I throw all my laundry on my bed, and then I'll fold it at night when I'm like watching TV. Like, that's like my thing. But so if I don't get to it when I'm having a party, I just put my dogs in the room and I'm like, dogs are in there. We can't go in there.
I would show you my room, but the dogs are in there.
I would show you my room. So now I tell my sister all the time, I'm like, just throw all your shit in your room. Tell them that the dog's in there.
Well, we were having a party, and like my whole house was torn apart. Carly's like, you're gonna need a lot of dogs. You're gonna have to go get a lot of dogs. Just go get
the neighbor's dog. Get the rabid ones that are like scratching at the door, so nobody's like, oh, we're not going in there.
Yeah, no, ooh. I would show you.
You need to use the restroom, you're gonna have to go to the upstairs one.
Yeah, so that's Carly's dogs, which is so funny because they don't even like bark, they don't like rest. They're just super chill. Like, they're
Nicole
dogs.
used to have a dog.
To a hospital.
She used to have a Yorkie that would scream the whole way to the vet. She would tell him they were going to the vet. He would scream in the car. Yeah. And then now Olivia, she takes her to the vet every time she poops in her car.
Anytime I put her in the car, she poops in the car. I have to keep her in a crate because now she poops, and I'm like, she's gonna poop in the car. And then she poops in there. She's awful.
And then she gets in it. So I'm on the phone with Nicole, and she's like, yeah, I take her in the vet. She's covered in poop.
I look like the worst dog owner ever. Well, and our Yorkie
you look
was
like you're
super
a dog
sick.
Porter.
Well, she's all matted. She's got poop all over her. I'm like, I promise I wash her.
See. By the time you bring her in there, she can't see. Her eyes are covered.
I tried to shave her once, and it was so bad.
That was awful. You should never do that again.
That was
so bad.
Yeah. Well, the Yorkie was he was a mess. He had a really sweet heart, but he was really, really sick. But he wouldn't let anybody know he was sick, and so I brought him to the vet to put him down 3 times, and the vet wouldn't do it because when I took him, he acted like a crazy dog. He was like, and I'm like, no, I promise he's sick. He's in a lot of pain, and they're like they treated me like I was trying to get drugs. They had me on like a list. They were like, Miss Kerr, we can't put him down. I'm like, no, I promise he's really sick. But yeah, it was terrible. But
So so let's jump into. I really want you to tell the story about you with the dog.
oh, are you kidding? I'm so excited about this episode. I cannot even stand it. But oh, first let me say I'm sorry about last week's episode, all the technical difficulties. We were thinking about using that video game background as our intro, maybe, but decided maybe we should go with something a little bit more fun. So
That
we're
is some
still
character.
we're
It's
still
fine.
working on it. And then I don't know what happened. Zoom, my camera kept freezing, and but I was watching the Joe Rogan show, and he had technical issues. I was like,
See?
oh, oh.
Even the pros do.
I'm like, if Joe
Look,
had problems, I'm like, we're okay,
we're fine.
huh? I'm a pro. Oh, I've offended the producer.
My bad. Ooh,
My
I'm
bad.
so sorry.
I'm sorry. So okay, so my dog story. Um, So I was coming home. It was on a fall day. I picked Emily up from preschool, and we were on our way home. And there was this little dog in the street, and I was like, okay, that's not an outside dog, right? Like like when they're inside and outside, it's like okay, an outdoor dog that could probably fend for itself, but this one like is not going to make it through the afternoon. So so I stopped. I pulled over, and I get out, and the little dog comes running over to me, and he's got a little tag on. So I'm like, hey, little buddy. I'm like, let's check your tag and see where you live. Well, I look up, and the house that I had parked in front of, the front door was wide open. Like the wind had caught it. It was a real windy day in Florida, and so the wind had caught it, and the front door was open. So I'm like, okay, little buddy, let's go home. And so he runs around the front, and I walk around the back, and he runs into the house. So I see there's cars in the driveway, so I'm like, well, I don't want to like freak them out, right? Shutting their door and stuff. So I yell in, I'm like, hello, hello, hey, your dog is out in the street. Nobody answers, and I'm just waiting. And Emily gets out of the car, so now she's standing with me, and I'm like, hello, hello, is anybody home? I'm like, let's let you know your dog's back in. So I'm like, all right, well, they're not here. So I shut the door, and Emily and I start walking back to the car. And this woman comes to the door in a hand towel, like a little hand towel. She's soaking wet. She was in the shower, and she's dripping wet in this towel. She's freaked out. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Didn't mean to scare you. Your door was open. Your dog was out in the street. He's home now. It's all fine. So
Fine.
So whenever I get this attitude, God's like, oh, you have this attitude? We're going to fix that. Because I'm like, you know what? Don't even thank me. Just doing my neighborly duty. Like, you're welcome. And she said, what? And I said, your dog was in the road. He's inside now. Everything is fine. And she said, I don't have a dog. I said, there's a dog in your house. I got to go. That dog had been in her house for like 10 minutes.
Dude, he probably was running around there wreaking havoc in her house.
Like, I was sure the reason why she came to the door was because she was probably in the shower and a dog came in. Like, what the hell? Could you imagine being in your shower?
And she's like, who's with the dog? Like,
who's with the dog?
Who let the dog in my house?
Yeah. And I'm like, don't even worry about it. You're welcome. And she's like, I don't have a dog. Jake said, you're lucky that lady was naked because I've seen her. She could take you. I had to drive by her house every day. I was like, oh, okay, nothing to see. I was
Hopefully
so
she doesn't recognize my car.
For real, like all the things you think about with that dog in the house. Like, what could have been done? We could have eaten her couch with the long time it was in there.
I know. It ate all her leftovers.
Right?
It probably made itself at home in her bed.
I don't even know if the dog was friendly because it wouldn't let me check his tag. So it just ran in the house. I'm like, oh, must be his house.
she lost her towel to it. That's why she had to have the hand towel.
Dog's like, arr.
Arr. What are you doing in my house, lady?
Yeah. So yeah, but mom came to visit me to help me with my surgery. So mom and I are out doing something. We're getting all ready and stuff. And we get this random text from Carly. So you should know that we text and talk to each other all day long. We're trying to do
all day.
better. Yeah, we're trying to do better so we have more stuff to share here so you get the real reaction of Carly when I tell her I left the dog out in the storm.
Oh.
So we get this random text from Carly, and it says, I just ran over Doglegs, and a throw up face. We're like, what? What is that? So immediately we call Carly. And we're like, what are you talking about? And she
Like,
said,
I don't know if I'm going to cry or if I'm going to throw up, but I just ran over Doglegs because what had happened was.
what had happened was, every good story starts with what had happened was.
What happened was I was driving and I was behind a construction truck. Well, the construction truck was like hitting up all these rocks and stuff. So I'm like, I got to get over. So a truck comes by me. I get over behind it. And, you know, when you get over behind somebody and you're going to pass, I was like a car and a half, maybe 2 cars at most, right? Not too
So
far.
you were tailgating.
Pretty much. Well, well, I was letting back, you know, just going. Like I just wanted to get. I had to get away from this truck. It's just spitting up rocks. It was like a concrete truck, you know, it had the concrete thing in the back.
Yeah.
And so I get over. Well, I'm behind this truck, and the truck. I don't think the driver of the truck was paying attention because there wasn't anybody in front of him. And then all of a sudden, he swerves. So I see this dog in the middle of the road. It's this huge dog. And if I hit that dog, I was going to flip. The dog was already dead, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would have stopped. I have a soft heart for dogs on the road. But anyway, it was dead. But I swerved to miss the body, but I hit the legs. And I'm losing it. I don't know, literally.
My stomach feels so gross.
I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna cry or I'm gonna throw up right now. Like I'm really woozy. Like this is not good, y'all. Like I've never done this before. And they're like, well, it's okay. Was it dead? I'm like, yeah. And it went.
No, Mom said.
But of course they erupt. It was so bad. I felt so bad, even though the dog was gone. Like I felt so
was the dog
bad.
dead? Carl said, I sure hope so. Otherwise, that would really hurt. It was so bad. So now we have a new saying. We say, I'd rather run over Doglegs than do that.
Or that's better than running over Doglegs.
Yeah, it's so gross. I mean, my stomach was so sick. Like, even now, my stomach feels queasy thinking about it. It is so gross.
It's so bad. And I've never hit an animal until just recently. Like, I had a deer run into me. That doesn't really count. It hit me. I didn't even see it coming. That thing hit my mirror and everything. It was bad.
Tell him about the mirror. It took the mirror part off of her car.
No, it slammed the mirror into my car and sounded like a bomb went off. Scared the life out of me. So I stop, I pull over, I go to make sure, see if the animal's okay. I didn't know what it was. I didn't see it. It was dark out still. And my side mirror is all shattered. So long story short, the deer was fine, I guess, because I never saw it. It ran off, but I knew it was a deer because I had deer hair in every piece of my car, like where all the windows connect and stuff.
Yeah.
There was deer hair sticking out. So I'm like, okay, I know it's a deer. But so I went, long story short, went to the junkyard to go get a new mirror because I'm broke. I'm like, I had no money. So I go in there and he goes, well, we only have a red one and a green one. And I was like, ooh, my car is black. I can't be riding around with a red mirror looking all bobo, right? No. So I'm like, oh, but you know what? I do have a couple of other parts. Could you come out and check them for me? And he comes out and look at my car and I'm like, don't mind my Bobo mirror because I glued a makeup mirror on my side mirror so I could see. I'm like, don't mind my Bobo mirror. He laughed and then had to look at my other parts, but I was so embarrassed.
Can't do the red one, but
anyway, so that had happened, but then just recently I had one of Nolan's friends in the car and I'm taking her home and she's sitting behind me and we're driving and all of a sudden I just scream because a possum runs out and I'm not going to swerve. I've swerved before for a dog and lost control. So I'm like, I'm not swerving for this beast. Like, sorry, I hope you make it. So I missed it with my front tire, but hit it with my back tire.
Ooh.
Oh, and I'm screaming, and they're like, "What? What happened?" And Nola goes, "Mom, you know she probably felt all of that, right?" And she goes, "She didn't." She goes, "I'm sorry, I couldn't
It didn't
swerve."
make it. It didn't make it.
No, that I didn't find it. It ran off.
Oh, really?
Maybe it. Yeah, never found it. So I hope it survived. I don't know.
Doubt it.
But yeah, so the dog legs, I felt horrible, but that was the worst thing ever.
Oh, that was terrible. That was so
Like
terrible.
ever. It
Really?
was so
I mean,
bad.
is it the worst thing that you've ever done? Because I don't know if it's the
We're not getting to
worst.
that one yet. Oh gosh, sister.
Yeah, I ran over something once,
Yeah,
and it was.
remember that was the parking garage light.
Mhm.
That's why I said that.
So, so the
It's
kids
only
went.
fair.
So the kids went. I don't. Where did they go? They went somewhere, and we were picking them up.
My
It was,
house.
yeah, maybe it was your house.
It was my house. They were
And
flying home.
and so I was picking them up from the airport, and I told Jake, I said, "You definitely gonna want to come because the ride home is the best because that's when they share everything. Like you have that window where they'll share everything, and then after that they don't talk about it." And so
Yeah.
he's like, "Okay, I'll come with you." So we go to the parking garage, pick him up. This is terrible, and I'm just gonna tell you it's terrible. So, and it's the airport parking garage, okay? And it's midnight. It's so late. So we get the kids and we go out to the car, and I guess Jake had to go back in to use the restroom before we left because it's far from our house. And so Nate and I can hear a kitten like crying, and I'm like, a kitten like in the airport. So Nate and I are looking all over for it, right? We're looking all around the car, looking everywhere, can't find it. And so I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I can't find it. I don't know where it's at. And there's all the cars, right? So it's
Yeah.
not like we're the only car. There's
Yeah.
cars all next to us and stuff. And so we get in, and I go to back out. I found the kitten. Yeah, it was bad. I found him.
So bad.
So bad. And I told the kids, don't look back. Like, and they're like, what are you doing? You're not going to stop. I'm like, it's dead. I promise you it's dead. Like, there's no saving it. It's gone. And remember, I have the condition. So,
Yeah.
so, so I just go. I'm like, what am I going to do at midnight with a dead kitten? Like, I'm not going to pick it up. I'm
I
not going to
know.
put it in the car. Like, I'm not, I mean, I know it's
Empty
terrible.
your luggage, kids. We gotta put it in.
Yeah. I'm like, what are you going to put it in the trash can? And and then how am I going to get it there? Like, we don't even have a napkin. Like, I'm like, I'm not picking up this kitten. Like, it was bad. It was really bad.
So what did the kids say?
So they made a mistake and they looked back, and that was bad. And they're crying. Emily and they're crying. They're like, "You're a murderer. You don't even care." I'm like, "What do you want me to do? Like, I can't do anything. I can't bring it back. It's dead." Nate's like, "I know. I saw it." I'm like, "I told you not to look back." So the whole way home, they're crying, telling me I'm a murderer, that I have no feelings. How can you be laughing at this? It's one of God's
Jake's like,
creatures.
I'm so glad I came.
Yeah, Jake was like, this is a great trip. Glad I came to hear all this thing and talk. They cried the whole way home. Nate's like, I'm going to throw up. I think I'm going to throw up. And Emily's crying. And I'm like, oh, God, I'm sorry. Like, I don't what am I supposed to do? Yeah, it was terrible. And so every time we go to the airport, they're like, Mom, remember that time? I'm like, one time.
For a kitten. And they see a kitten, they're like, yeah, Mom, kitten killer.
Yeah, kitten killer. Well, then, like that next week, there was a kitten on the highway, and I felt bad because I had taken one life, so I tried to save another, and that didn't turn out very good. Somebody else pulled up, and I was like, "You got this?" And they were like, "Yeah, I got it." And I'm like, "Great, see you later."
Did you save another cat before too?
Oh yeah, in college. Oh gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I was in college, and I would go down to the beach, and like, if when I got really stressed, I would just go sit at the beach and just be quiet, just watch the
Yeah.
ocean and just be quiet. So I did that. Well, I got I got real bad bronchitis, and I pulled my ribs. So I like had bruised ribs and pulled the cartilage
Yeah.
and stuff. So I had like an ace bandage wrapped all around me. I was on pain meds, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go chill at the beach, just get my head right. And on the way back, there was a cat had gotten hit, and so I pull over, and this is like when Jacksonville was a little country, and so this guy pulls over, and he's like, well, I'll take care of it, and he goes to his truck and gets a shovel, and he's gonna kill the cat, and I'm like, no way, you can't do that, just help me get it in my car, and I'll take it to the vet. Now this cat was on his way out, right? Like, I don't know why I would have taken him to the vet. So anyway, I have this little eclipse. He puts the box in my front seat, and this cat is like the Pet Cemetery cat. Like, there was nothing cute about it. Its eyeball was hanging out. And it's like in my front seat, and I'm like, it's okay. Like, I'm like holding the box down. Like, all of a sudden, the cat comes like back to life, and it starts crawling out of the box at me. Eyeball out. I'm like, ah! I'm like, hold the box out, pull over, pull the box out, like freaking out. The stupid cat's crawling at me. Oh gosh, I finally get to the
I
vet.
could imagine.
Well, and I called the vet. Well, somebody else pulled over, and they were like, well, I'll call and let them know you're coming. I'm like, okay, perfect. This is like back in the day, so it's wasn't like, you could just, hey Siri, call the vet, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. It was a long
hold
time
on,
ago.
microphone. No, don't call anybody. No, stop. My phone just called somebody. So sorry, Annette. My phone just called you. so so I get to the vet, and I get the cat in, and apparently they weren't there for me. Somebody else had called, and so they were like, they were gonna have me pay for the cat. I'm like, it's not my cat. It's picked it up on the road. I don't care if it lives
Being
or
a good
dies.
Samaritan.
I'm so pissed off by the time I get there, stressed out. Stupid cat trying to crawl in my car. I'm like, I'll run it over.
Your
I'm
ribs,
like, whatever you want to do.
You can't move.
I'm like, I'll run the damn thing over. I'm like, I should let the guy kill it with a shovel. I'm like, paying $500 for this cat? You're crazy. It's crazy. I don't know why Mom doesn't think I'm the sensitive one. It's weird.
so I just had a situation a couple months ago, I guess now, but where I'm driving down the road taking the kids to school, and there's this old lab in the middle of the road. I'm like, oh baby, you got to get off the road, like, come on. So I pull in this driveway, and I'm calling the dog over. Well, the dog comes, follows me. It's all wet, like you can tell it just kind of got out recently, but it's an older dog. And I'm like, come on, baby, let's go. Like, trying to get her out of the road. And I go to this house, and the house is pretty far back from the street, right?
Yeah, because you live out in the country.
On acreage, right. So I go up to the door, and I can hear other dogs in the house. And I knock, and this woman comes to the door, and I'm like, hey, there's this dog out front of your house. Like, is this your dog? Do you know whose dog it is? Is it one of your neighbors? She goes, yeah, no. And then she's like giving me the rundown of everybody's dogs, and I'm like, yo, do you know the dog? Like, I gotta go. Like, I got kids to get to school, right? So she's telling me she doesn't know, and I've got 3 of my own inside. I can't take the dog inside. And I'm like, what do you want me to do with the dog? Like, I got a car full of kids. I can't put this huge lab in my car.
And it's a brand new car. It was your brand new car.
My brand new car, yeah. I'm like, no way, I'm not letting this wet, dirty, nasty dog in my car right now, right? When you have a backyard, like she had her backyard, a fenced backyard, like put the dog in your yard. So I would have done that. If it were my house, I'd be like, oh, let me put it in the fence, we'll figure out the owners. Well, the lady, she's like telling me, and she's like looking around like she doesn't know what to do. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and call the Humane Society. I'll call them. And what's your house address? I'm not putting this dog in my car. So I get her address. And she's like, okay, you're going to call now? And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to call right now. I'll get on the phone. So I do. I get on. Nobody opens till like 11 o'clock. So this dog is sitting at her house. I finally get a hold of this lady. I'm going back and forth. When I drove back by from school, the dog was still laying
You're
there.
like
And I was
this.
like,
You're
oh,
like,
don't look over. Maybe she won't recognize me.
you
And then,
have a bright red car.
yeah. So I keep checking up with the Humane Society all day. I'm like, did you get this dog? Like, I'm really sincere worried about this dog. So they're like, yeah, they went out there and there was no dog there. And I'm like, ugh. Shit. I hope this lady took this dog somewhere. But I felt so bad because I was like, okay, gotta go. Bye.
Oh, I don't see. That's why I don't like pick up dogs or anything anymore because it's like what do you do? Like
Well, then,
I'll call the tag, but I'm like we kept the kids brought a husky home. Same thing. It was soaking wet. We put it in the backyard. It was the cutest husky ever. And they're like, "Can we come in?" I'm like, "Dude has 5 pounds of water in his fur. Like, and you want him to come in our house?"
yeah.
I'm like,
Or
"You're
they're
insane."
covered in fleas like the one I saved.
Oh
The
yeah,
little
that little
chihuahua
one.
that ran under my
Mm-hmm.
car.
Yeah.
And I get it and it stunk to all hell.
Oh,
And
poor
then
little chihuahua.
I'd wrap it around
Ted
in
was so
blanket.
pitiful. He didn't want to bring it home.
I didn't want to bring it home either. That dog was neglected. I felt bad because then we found the owners and I didn't want to take it back because it was covered in fleas.
Yeah.
Its nails were long. But I took it to the vet, got it taken care of, got its nails, killed all the fleas, gave it multiple baths. And then I had to take it back to those people. I was so upset about that. But anyway, I did do a good deed of that. We do love animals. But, so, uh, speaking of chihuahuas.
Wait, but first, hold on. But first, your dogs, when you went to get your dogs, you're like mom. So you guys were going to get a Shih Tzu because you loved our Shih Tzu. So we had a Shih Tzu before Olivia, and he was my boy. He was my Charlie dog, and we had to put him down. And it was so sad, and like still makes a hole in my heart.
For everybody, yeah.
Yeah. So you had found. I had talked you into getting a puppy for the kids, and you had found these Shih Tzus, and so it was like.
Well, I found one Shih Tzu. It was a female, and I was going to get the female because I was totally against having males because of Charlie.
Yeah.
what had happened with Charlie?
About that. No.
Yeah. So I went to go get that female, and we show up, and it's in Arlington, and Arlington is known for being a bad area. Well, I'm like, surely not all of Arlington is bad. Like, maybe it's a good spot. So yeah. I get my whole family. We have 2 cars because Ted has to go to work after, and I'm going home. Well, we show up, and it was bad. It was the ghetto. I mean, like, gunshots ringing off. Like,
yeah, it's not
bad.
a good area.
Not a good area. So we're like
not Arlington, Texas.
No. Jacksonville.
Yeah.
So I go up to the woman and she said, I said, yeah, I'm here for the little female Shih Tzu. She goes, oh, I sold that one. I was like, what? I just drove 45 minutes with my whole family in 2 cars to come get this Shih Tzu.
Shih Tzu, yeah.
And she goes, oh, I sold that one. She gone. I already sold that one. Looking around like that, and I was like, oh, girl, I will punch you in your throat right now. Like, I'm so mad. She brings out her husband or boyfriend, whatever, brings out a box, and she goes, I got these left. And hands us this box of these 2 dogs. And we're like, Ted goes, you take this for both of them? She goes, yeah. So he's like, let's go. We'll take them.
I mean, they were covered in fleas.
Covered. You could not see the whites of their head, because it was so much flea done and fleas. We carried them like this to PetSmart or wherever, the pet store. And I'm like, what can we do for these fleas? Like, this is disgusting.
Yeah.
But we got them all cleaned up.
I mean, they were like, I mean, you didn't know what kind of dogs they were. Because
no, you were teasing me. You're like, you totally got a Saint Bernard.
Yeah, because his markings look just like a Saint Bernard.
But I did see
you
the
don't
parent.
even know what dog you got. Yeah, but
they
don't know those were the parents.
Well, yeah, they were. It was the mom was like a black and white Shih Tzu, and then the dad was like a white and sorrel Jack Russell. He looked like a Jack Russell mix.
So again, she bought the dogs that were covered in
Yeah.
fleas. Probably had
We
worms. Like
suckered
you had
into
to do
these
all
dogs.
of this stuff for them, and that's probably why they're so good.
They are
I'm gonna
really
go
good
get
dogs.
some flea dogs to see if they'll be
Oh,
good.
it's some flea-bitten dogs.
some some malnourished animals. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll have better luck.
Yeah.
But because I mean
But
we've had good dogs, but we've
yes.
had bad ones.
So yeah.
But
Yeah.
you had two. So you had two Chihuahuas before these two dogs, and
Yes.
you had.
So
I mean, you had them for since you were in college.
mhm,
So they
yeah.
were like your kids.
Actually, before college, Chinsey was before college,
Oh
and then
yeah, that's
Sadie I
right.
got my first year of college, and Chinsey had already passed, and I had Sadie. Well, we actually had our boys too with these dogs too. Um,
Yeah.
Dane wasn't born yet, but the our oldest were. So, but Sadie was older, and we had a hurricane coming. So,
This is
so
my favorite story.
So, okay, guys, like I had so much anxiety telling the story.
Is the best story I've ever heard.
So
You can't even make this shit up. That's how great it is.
you really can't. It's so bad. So,
So
all right.
you guys had to evacuate for the hurricane
So
because
I have three little children. I have a newborn baby. I have two young kids, and I have this dog that's like on her way out. She's like on her deathbed. She wasn't doing good at all,
no,
right?
she had like congestive heart failure, right?
Yeah, something going on. And so the hurricane's coming. I'm like, I cannot have no power. We didn't have a generator at the time. I'm like, there's no way I can stay here. So we leave, we evacuate, go to the Panama City. Well, we're there, and like 4 days in or so, like Sadie had a great end of her life, okay? 'Cause she got to spend it on the beach. We took her for walks on the beach every day. Like she loved it. She was in heaven.
Oh, she was in
Well,
heaven.
yeah. Well, then like 4 days in, she passes away in the hotel. And that night, I had put her in the bathroom because she was just, I didn't want her to pee in the hotel and stuff. You weren't allowed to have dogs, but they allowed us because of the hurricane. We were evacuating the hurricane. So, so now our dog dies.
I can't imagine why they don't let you have dogs in their hotel.
What the hell am I going to do now with my dog? Like, what do you do?
Yeah.
What am I going to go bury her on the beach? Like, what do I do?
And how
What would
old
you
was
do?
she? She was like 13 years old, right?
14 or 15. She was up there.
Yeah. So it's not like
Yeah.
it's like your love. It's like your kid.
No, she's my baby. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna just like go throw her in a dumpster. Like I have to bury her with my other dog. So we're freaking out. I'm like, Ted, what am I gonna do? Crying. My dog. Like this is my baby. It was our baby. We loved her so much. She was such a good dog. So what? What else do you do? I mean, what do they do? So I had to put her in multiple bags. And I had to put her in the freezer. So that I could get her home. But I couldn't tell my kids. Because they would give us up. Cognito. He had to like secretly do it. Sister, we were in Panama City for like 10 days. It was horrible.
Nothing to see here. Nothing to see. Nothing to see here. The dog.
Not disturbed sign on the door. I want them to get suspicious to why we weren't walking our dog anymore.
The dog was solid when they got in the car to go
Oh
home.
my gosh. So we had to sneak the dog because the kids didn't know. They knew she had died because Maddox goes in to go to the bathroom in the morning and hit the dog with the door.
Ugh.
And he goes, Mom! Sadie's dead. Can we get a new one? Oh my gosh, what kind of kids am I raising?
Oh gosh.
But he was just a baby, so he didn't really understand the whole concept of it. Like he was very little. Like he was just talking. I think he was 2. He was 2 and 2.5, almost 3, because Dane was born. And so like,
Oh.
what the heck do I do? So then we sneak her into the truck and put her in bed. And then, as soon as we get home, he went back and buried her. Like, we had a whole burial for her.
Who does that?
Nobody knows this story, but, like, you and Mom. Like, it's so sad. But what would you do? I mean, you're on a beach. Like, we couldn't go anywhere. And it's, like, a downtown area. So you can't, like...
Yeah,
it's not like
where are you gonna... You can't go bury a dog somewhere.
I'm not gonna throw my dog in the dumpster. Like, that's
No.
horrible to me. That would just be mean.
Yeah, I mean,
So...
you can't... And I think it's illegal, too.
So I hid her behind the ice cream for a week. she was in multiple bags. I kept it sanitary.
Oh, my nose is running because you're making me laugh so hard.
I made it very sanitary, okay? Like it wasn't like disgusting. Like I just placed my dog in the freezer. Thank God she was a Chihuahua. Lord knows, what if I had a lab? I'd be in trouble.
Nothing to see. Just dragging the dog through the hotel.
Oh my gosh, that was horrible. That was the worst situation.
Well,
I mean what would you do?
I don't. Well,
you'd probably go the dumpster
I'd
route.
send her off onto the ocean. I'd put her on a little raft and send her off in the ocean with some candles.
Set her on fire.
I would just push it off. Like, shit, it keeps coming back. You gotta get it past the surf.
Waves are crashing in.
You gotta get her past the surf. Shoot, I'd do that to you if you died at the beach. Would you want to raft?
A blow up.
Swim you out past the surf, light you on fire. Matter of fact, that might be a good way to go out. I'm gonna make my kids do that.
Better than a firework.
See them. Oh, yeah, good point. Yeah. We'll have to do that. Yeah. So I'd rather run over Doglegs than freeze a dog.
Yeah, so. Oh my gosh. I can't believe it's happening.
Well, I'm not allowed to help any dogs anymore either. But anyway. Okay.
Well, that was fun.
So next week Mom's coming on, which is going to be really fun because she doesn't even know what we're going to talk about next week. And
we've got some
we have
stuff. Great stories for her.
Judy. She's such a good resource for us. She's such a good resource.
She's terrified. We asked her, and she's like,
She's so nervous. But I mean, I think she'll be fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's gonna be fun. So we'll definitely see you next week, same time, same place. Our producer's gonna be on the road. Maybe a little shaky.
If we can figure out how to start it and end it.
We'll see how this goes. So
yeah, it'll be fun.
Hey, we're getting better. Look, we have a backdrop.
Yes.
That's right. Next week maybe we'll have an intro.
Oh.
I try to do the Apple iTunes for the podcast, and they were having technical difficulties, so I couldn't get on to do it. So as soon as I can get on there, I'll put them on there for us. But yeah, I was like, I can't log in, and then they wouldn't let me. They were saying it was down or whatever. So.
All right. Well, very good. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Until next time.
Have a great night. Thanks.